Alright, welcome back with Miss B Makes It Easier. And tonight we're going to be doing performing conversions. So sometimes quantities may need to be converted from one unit to another in order to A, make the quantity neater to look at, or smaller. For example, 1000 grams may be written as 1 kilogram. Or B, related to any given situation. For example, instead of saying 20 miles per hour, one might say, or one might want to say approximately 32 kilometers per hour. So converting from a quantity with a coined unit to another quantity with an uncoined unit with the same base is very simple. A quantity with a coined unit is one which is preceded by a prefix, for example, centimeter, millimeter, nanosecond, megawatt, picosecond, etc. A quantity with an uncoined unit is one which is not preceded by a prefix, for example, meters, watts, seconds, mole, etc. So do you remember these? They will come in handy for the upcoming exercise. It is best if you commit these to memory. I said it in an earlier video, and I hope you have taken my advice. And they're not that hard, just commit them to memory. The most popular ones are mega, kilo, deci, sometimes, that's a sometimes. Centi is popular as well, very popular. Milli is popular, micro is popular, nano is popular, and this one sometimes, pico. But just get to learn them. Get to learn the prefixes and their corresponding powers of 10. Okay? So performing conversions, coined to uncoined. To convert from a quantity with a coined unit to a quantity with an uncoined unit, all you have to do is multiply. For example, here you have 2 centimeters. You want to get rid of the prefix centi. Okay? All you gotta do is remember what centi is equal to. See? Centi is equal to 10 to the negative 2. And you stick it right in there. So you see, you replace the centi with the power of 10. So 2 times 10 to the negative 2 meters. So if you ever wanted to find out what 2 centimeters is equal to in meters, you get rid of the centi by multiplying by 10 to the negative 2. So that is where you have to learn your submultiples and your multiples. You have to learn them. Here you have 4 picoseconds. I want to get rid of the pico. I just want to say whatever it is, seconds. So again, you look back if you didn't memorize it yet, and you look for what pico is equal to, or what the power of 10 of pico is, which is 10 to the negative 12, and you just put it in there. So you would say 4 times 10 to the negative 12 seconds. Right, so if you're going from coin to uncoin, remember you multiply. So here we have, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions you could do based on what we just learned. So I'm going to give you about, let's say, a minute, because now you know the trick. You don't have to think too much. So I'm going to give you about, let's say, a minute to figure it out, and then I'm going to help you. I'm going to show you the answers because by now you already know what we should put here, right? I'm going to give you a minute. Gonna give you a minute. Gonna give you a minute. Is a minute up yet? A minute. A minute. A minute. A minute. Oh, a minute. A minute. Got it? Alright. So I hope you got the same answers that I'm gonna put right now. So I'm gonna come out of this and I'm gonna put them in. Let me copy the multiplication sign because we're gonna just be doing some multiplications. And so here we have, what is this gonna be? What is nano? So you're going to say 5 control paste times 10 to the negative 9. So that should be nano. I hope you got that. That should be nano. Because you got rid of nano. And if you look back, let's look for nano, 10 to the negative 9. Wait, so let's now look at this one. We want to get rid of the milli. So we're going to say 10 times, control paste. Remember I copied my multiplication sign. Times 10 to the negative 3. And it's negative 3 because a milli is times 10, is 10 to the negative 3. So pretty much once you know how to do that, you're good to go. And now we have here mega. So mega is equal to what? Mega is equal to 10 to the 6. And so you can just type it in. 3 control paste times 10 to the 6. Great. Great. I hope you are correcting your work as we go along. Okay. Now, oops. Alright, so now let's go milli again. Here we're going from 6 milliamps to amps. So we're going to just stick in a 6 right there. Control paste. And a milli is what? You're correct. A milli is 10 to the negative 3. So we're getting rid of that. As you go up here, put that as superscript. Okay, and then now kilo. Can you guess what kilo is? Or do you remember? Did you do the work? Did you put the grease in and oil your brain? You see, if you know these things, you don't have to go back all the time. And that's why I always impress upon you to just commit them to memory, because you're going to need them, and you don't want to be going back all the time, every minute wasting time, right? And as a matter of fact, they don't give them on the CXC exam, so you might as well commit them to memory early. So I hope you got all of these. If you look back, kilo is 10 to the 3, of course. And if you committed them to memory, you should have gotten these all correct. Alright, so here we have, I'm going to make it bigger, enlarge it. And there you have it. I hope you had all of these answers. So basically, let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so here we have now okay, so performing conversions uncoined to coined. To convert from a quantity with an uncoined quantity to another quantity with a coined quantity with the same base, all you have to do is divide by the unknown's prefix. Yes, that was a lot of words, and you're probably like, what? Okay, so basically to go from uncoined to coined, okay, with the same base. So the base meaning if you're going from meters to something meters, right? Like this one too, if you're going from watts to something watts. So basically the base must match back for this to be true. If you're going from uncoined to coined, that have the same base, but they just have a different prefix in front of the base, all you have to do is divide, and then once you divide, you do the multiplication and you change the sign. So if you had to divide, like for instance this one, you have milli, and a milli is 10 to the negative 3, right? So all you would have to do, if you're going from meters to millimeters, you divide by 10 to the negative 3, because that's what milli is equal to. And then to make it in the way that you want to see it, because usually you want to write it as a multiplication. You just put the multiplication sign in there and you get rid of this sign. Okay? And it's pretty much, I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay? So you get rid of the sign and you use the same thing. You have 2 times 10 to the 3, which is positive millimeters. And the same thing here. In this case, you're going from watts to megawatts. And you know a megawatt is 10 to the 6. So again, if you're going from on coin to a coin, you would divide whatever the term is, the prefix is, they divide the whole number by the prefix. I put the wrong number down there, and then what you would do is change the division sign to the multiplication sign and also change this sign here. Yes. And you're probably like, what? Change the sign? Well, it's easy. All you're doing, anytime you remember what I showed you, let me open a text box here. Okay, so remember I told you 1 divided by a is basically equal to a to the negative 1. Right? So what it is that remember 1, anything that is 1, let's just go on here. Remember, anything that is 1 is actually itself to the power of 0, correct? Let me just come out this one. So in other words, you're really saying a, if a to the 0 is equal to 1, right? Put this in superscript. A to 0 is equal to 1. Then it's pretty much like this. 1 over a is equal to a to the 0 divided by a to the 1. Right? Because remember, if you're a, if you're just a by yourself, then you are a to the 1. Correct? Okay. So now, if you put things into perspective, 1 over a is actually a to the 0, because a to the 0 is equal to 1, and divided by a to the 1, because a to the 1 is equal to a. And maybe I should change these around so it will look neater. Okay, so let me put this here. Oh no, because then I had a here. Okay, so then therefore, if 1 over a is equal to a to the 0 over a to the 1, then remember, when you're dealing with division, division you subtract. Remember, multiplication you add, well, division you subtract. So really and truly it's a to the 0 minus 1. That's what's really going on. You put the equal sign first, and that will give you a to the minus 1. Okay? So that's what is really going on. Okay? Remember, once you have the same variables, you just take the superscripts and you minus them from one another when you're dealing with exponents. And that's where you have to learn exponents, otherwise you'll be so lost. So in this case, what's happening up here is that you are dividing 2 times 10 to the 0 divided by 10 to the negative 1. So in this case, if you want me to write it over here so you can see it, what I'm saying is, this is actually 2 And just put it here, control paste. 2 times, let me put everything in black. Right? Put it in brackets. Here. And we're going to divide. Now 2 times 10 to the 0. That's what this is. Just get rid of all of this. Okay. And we're going to raise this to 0. So remember, anything raised to 0 is 1. So superscript, okay, divided by, now we're cooking on gas, divided by a -3. That's what's really happening. Sorry. Okay, and so because that is what is happening, guess what? Now you have this, you're gonna have this, control copy, which is control paste, which is 0 minus 3. And anything minus minus, so you said 0 minus 3 is actually 0 plus 3, and that should give you 2 times 10 to the 3. And that is what you actually get in here, right? That is what is actually happening. And that's the same idea for this down here, where you have 5 divided by, remember I tell you, from uncoined to coined, you're going to divide by the prefix if the bases are the same. And so you would divide 5 by 10 to the 6, and this is 5 times 10 to the 0, divided by 10 to the 6. And so the 0 will come up, you get 0 minus 6. That's where you get 5 times 10 to the -6. So in other words, without doing all this, if you have to divide and the exponent is negative, you multiply and the exponent is going to turn to become positive. If you have to divide and the exponent is positive, you're going to multiply and the exponent is going to miraculously turn out to be negative. Okay? So you don't even have to do all this, but of course on my test, if you were doing my test, you will have to show your working. But these are just tricks, so you don't have to think too much on your exam or test. So now, if you're going from 6 amps to milliamps, remember milli is 10 to the -3. So therefore, if you're going to have 6 divided by 10 to the -3. So therefore, it will be 6 times, let me just copy this. I'll just copy, control copy. It will be 6 times, control paste, times 10 to the 3. Yep, that's what it's going to be. And now, you could actually try these yourself for 1 minute. It should be easy. Now that you know the tricks, it should be easy. Got it? Alright, so all of them should be filled out. And so let's take a look. So we have 3. And we're going to do, we're going to put in this, control paste. And micro is what? I think a micro is -6. So therefore this is going to be +6. Let's go back and check. A micro is -6, so it will be +6 definitely. And with this one, we just put back 7, control paste. And in this case, a kilo is +3, so therefore you have -3. Okay, with this one, a nano would be -9, so this would be a +9. And with this one, you notice that you don't even have to think anymore. Once you know you're going from an coin to a coin, you just divide and then multiply. Maybe I should put divide and then multiply, or just leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. So then 2, control paste, and a mega is a positive 6, so therefore it will be negative 6. And that's the magic. That's the magic. So I hope you got all of these correct. I'm gonna make it big. So 6 amps to milliamps. Remember, milli is 10 to negative 3, so therefore you multiply by 10 to the positive 3. Micro is negative 6, so it will become positive once you multiply. A kilo is positive 3, so it will become negative 3 once you multiply. Nano is negative 9, so it's going to become positive 9 once you multiply. And a mega again here is positive 6, so therefore it will become negative 6. Alright, so I hope you take this to heart. Alright, so kiddos, good luck, and see you in the next session where we perform conversions between coin and coined units. That's a little bit more detailed, hence why it has to be by itself. Good night and good luck. Miss B makes it easier.